Good morning and welcome to the Chamber Business Report. I'm John Phillips, president of the Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today's Chamber Business Report features John Galloway, who's with the Calvary Church here in Palm Coast. And once again, I want to remind folks that the Chamber Business Report is brought to you by Klein Construction, building the future of Flagler County for the past 30 years. Smart Technologies, they make business simple. Intracoastal Bank of Palm Coast, community banking the way it should be, member FDIC, and also Katz & Green, Flagler County's personal injury attorneys since 1996. Again, this is the Chamber Business Report, and we're visiting with John Galloway. John, great to meet you in person. We've been trading emails and texts, and glad to be together today. Let's learn a little bit more about you. How's that sound?
It sounds great.
All right. Well, give us your background. I know obviously you're affiliated with the Calvary Church here in Palm Coast, which is a wonderful venue, and we want to talk more about the business leadership programs that you do there at Calvary, and also the Global Leadership Summit in our second segment, which is coming up next week. But let's learn about you individually. Where'd you grow up, and how did you end up here at Calvary and Palm Coast?
Yeah, I'm actually from Connecticut. So what brought me here to Connecticut or to Florida was football. I was a football player in college, and I came down to play at Bethune-Cookman University. And I played there for 3 years and then got connected with Calvary in Ormond and found a call in the ministry. My original plan was to go into law, be a lawyer, but God had other plans. So we've been here planted in Palm Coast the last 6 years, and God has been good. We bought a building about going on 3 years ago, and God has just blessed the house, and it's been a joy. So football brought me here. I got married at my wife. I met my wife in college. Football brought me here. My wife kept me here, and God's using me here.
Wow, I love those three things there. And let's talk a little bit more. I know we don't want to turn this into a sports talk show,
Sure.
but your background in football. What position did you play, and what was the era that you were at Bethune-Cookman? Because I know the Wildcats have had a wonderfully successful football program over the past few years at an outstanding institution there in Daytona Beach.
Yeah, I was a linebacker, defensive player, kind of the quarterback of the defense type of thing. And I was there from 2012 to 2015. Those were the years I played. And at that time, we had 2 conference championships. We never lost to FAMU, and it was just a great time.
I was just going to say, nobody cares about the game other than the Florida Classic, right? Everybody wants to know, how'd you do against FAMU?
Yes.
So what attracted you from Connecticut down here to Daytona Beach? Obviously, Bethune-Cookman being a historically black college and university, the HBCU experience is attractive.
Yeah,
I imagine the warm weather and the outstanding football team probably had a good impact as well.
You can't be mad moving to Florida from Connecticut. So the weather was definitely a draw, but I had a few family members here that kind of were Bethune-Cookman alumni, and they encouraged me to come, encouraged me to see what the school's about. I took a visit, fell in love with it, and the rest is history. So I came down here playing football and getting to know this new environment, new scenery, fell in love with it, and I stayed.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. We are glad to have you here in Palm Coast, and another great testimony to the great education there at Bethune-Cookman University that continues to impact our community. Let's talk about your first connection to Calvary. Yeah. Obviously, the Ormond Beach Church, I told you off the air before we started, I live very close to there, and so I drive by there all the time. It is an amazingly large facility, yeah. And I look at the parking lot every Sunday and many other days as well and go, where are all those people coming from? Yeah. So how did you first get connected with the Calvary group in Ormond, which ultimately spun off here to Palm Coast?
Yeah. So ultimately, funny story, my mom from Connecticut, one of our family members asked, she said, where can my son find a good church? And one of my family members went to Calvary, and they said, hey, he needs to come to this church. And at the time, I didn't know the difference between a great church or a church that, God's calling you to. So she told me to go. I just went not knowing what to expect. I fell in love with it, and then just kind of got connected with it and started in youth and young adults and did that for a period of time. And then when they were preparing to launch this campus, they launched my wife and I right along with it. So the connection happened through family, but now it's just been a God thing the whole way through.
Yeah, faith and family will lead you in the right direction oftentimes, and it led you here to Palm Coast. And you mentioned it's been about 3 years here in Flagler County with the Calvary facility. What was able to spin it off here? Was there just enough people in Flagler County that were commuting to Ormond Beach and wanted to have their own church here?
So there was a cohort of people from Palm Coast going to Ormond, and we actually planned it 6 years ago, but we bought a permanent facility 3 years ago. So there was a great group of people coming to Palm Palm Coast. And at the time, we're like, man, we probably can get a campus started here. And we planted on Easter of 2019, which happened to be my birthday. So if you didn't know God called you to it, there you go.
It was meant to be.
There it was meant to be. So the first Sunday we were planted here at 6 p.m. at Matanzas, there were over 700 people there. So initially, right out the gate, there was favor and opportunity, and we just kind of ran with it. Then we decided it was a great idea to plant 6 months before COVID, and then COVID kind of reset things. And then we got back on track and started growing again, and bought this property that we're at on Palm Coast Parkway in 2022, and we've been there ever since. Started with 2 services, now we're into 3, and it's just been a great thing so far.
Well, you used a couple of words there about opportunity.
Yeah,
it being one of them, and this show is the Chamber Business Report. Normally we focus on local businesses and how they are impacting our community. The church is a business. I'm not saying you're a for-profit business necessarily. Oftentimes people think of businesses are only people that make money.
Sure.
But in the business world, your church is providing wonderful leadership opportunities. I learned through Bob Doucette, one of our great sponsors. He is with Smart Technologies, and also I believe a member of your church, I think, or at least affiliated with. His daughter does, and he shared with me that the Kingdom Entrepreneurship Program that the church has, where you're providing leadership and skills and background and experience to entrepreneurs that are affiliated with your church. So let's unpack that a little bit. I'm really eager to learn how you're doing that.
Yeah. So. Kingdom Entrepreneurship was designed to be a 6-week curriculum to take someone from business concept or idea to for-profit, tangible business with LLC and so on and so forth. And within that 6-week curriculum, we practically take biblical principles and infuse them with business principles to give someone a kingdom-based foundation for their business, rooted in gospel principles. All these criteria that we have for example, sales or marketing, well, those can be found in the life of Jesus as well. How do you provide value to a market? Jesus can tell us that. And we just made it a palatable way, provided it to our people, and they have the privilege to go from idea, I have a business I think God is giving me, to this is how it functions and this is how resources are made by it.
Are the leaders who help mentor the folks who have these ideas, are they all members of the church that are providing this guidance?
Yes, they're members. God has blessed them to have profitable and successful businesses. So, yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, my first thought is there's an organization called SCORE. I don't know if you're familiar with SCORE, but SCORE is mostly made up of experienced, oftentimes retired business owners who provide volunteer work and support to local businesses to help them get off the ground and get running. And instead of learning lessons the hard way, they share the ideas. And I think this business may be very similar, because you've got maybe experienced. They don't have to be retired. I'll call them experienced business people who have lessons they've learned that they want to share with others.
That's exactly it. The old adage is a fool learns everything by experience. So our goal is to provide those who have accumulated wisdom in this particular sphere to bring that to God's people, that they may find financial freedom and grow a business for themselves. Because oftentimes there has been this skewed perspective towards the people of God and being well-resourced, thinking I may be closer to God if I don't have the resources. And the Bible says, blessed are those who poor in spirit, not poor in natural, in the sense of being successful. So our goal through this curriculum is to debunk some of those concepts that we have accumulated through our lives and provide truth in biblical practice in a practical way to build a kingdom business for resources and financial freedom. Yeah,
it's a wonderful concept. And, oftentimes they talk about in the world of community service and giving back, they talk about time, treasure, and talent. And in this case, it's mostly talent. You've got experienced people that are providing their talents with others. How many folks? How many business ideas do you think you've had come through the program? How long has it been going on? And obviously, we would love to talk about any great success stories that we have.
Yeah. So we started kind of walking by faith and kind of pitched it as a discipleship program just to see, engage interest. And we had 50 people sign up within our church alone.
Wow.
And they walked them through the curriculum. Some of them had incredible ideas, restaurant ideas or internet marketing businesses. There were some that were of senior citizen retirement age, but there were also some young adults that were graduating high school and wanted to find an avenue to financial freedom. So it was a gambit of people that were all interested, and they went through the program, and they have been given the tools to create opportunities to grow resources within their own lives.
Yeah, it's amazing. Is this a program, this Kingdom Entrepreneurship is the program that we're talking about, and we're visiting with John Galloway from the Calvary Church here in Palm Coast. Is that something that started here at the Palm Coast campus, or is it something that kind of spun off from Ormond or from another church?
It started right here in Palm Coast. To be honest with you, I was just praying about it, and I just received this desire and this burden to start. So I took some of these business owners to lunch, and I said, hey, this is an idea. This is your sphere of influence. How does that sound to you? And they jumped on board, and we built the curriculum together and pitched it, and it just kind of grew from there. Well,
I'm confident that as others learn more about it, there will be, whether it's the Ormond Group. I also know there's a Calvary organization down in New Smyrna Beach that is affiliated with your family. And the Calvary Church is not just here in Florida and Central Florida. It's throughout. But I think in the interwoven group that you have, New Smyrna, Palm Coast, and Ormond Beach are kind of the three facilities for right now, correct?
Locally, yes. We have 5 total in Florida and 5 in the United States. So 10 total. We have Panama City, Orlando, New Smyrna, Ormond, Palm Coast. In Florida.
Yeah, I'm quite confident that one of those other 5 might be trying to look into your curriculum and see how they can help their business leaders. Is there any one particular project that has come forward that's really touched your heart, that you've been maybe connected to or really have a strong allegiance to?
Yeah, there was a woman who was of senior citizen age. She was pretty much on the verge of retirement. And she was trying to figure out, what was next with life, and, felt the urge or the unction to do more without maybe the insider guidance. Took our class and then began to develop and is developing a business geared for reaching those who are needing care, like those who may be shut in. She wants to create this business and this concept of helping those who can't help themselves. And that one just hit my heart, because you had someone that really was struggling to find purpose in the phase of their life that they were in, and they're finding it, building a business to help those who were in the same walk of life.
Yeah. How long has the Kingdom Entrepreneurship Program been going on?
We launched it in February.
February of this year.
Yeah.
So this is brand new.
This is fresh.
This is hot off the presses.
Yes.
So a lot of growth opportunities there and a lot of eager excitement. Is it something that you all meet once a week, once a month, or just as ideas come forward? How's the formatting work?
We try to treat it like semesters, just like a university. So we had one semester in the springtime. We're planning to develop one in the fall. In conjunction with them in the curriculum, we've also taken groups to different events that would provide the same concepts. We took a group to Jacksonville for a Life Surge conference. There was about 30 that came with us to do that, and the others, the next one would be this Global Leadership Summit that they're going to be a part of as well. So we try to also supplement the gaps with these type of things.
Well, that's perfect, and that's a great segue, because the Global Leadership Summit is coming to the Calvary Church here in Palm Coast, and it is coming up next week. We're going to take a short time out. When we come back, we're going to learn more about the Global Leadership Summit and about how you can participate in that summit. It's coming up next week. We'll take a break here on the Chamber Business Report, and we'll be right back.
Well, my wife and I were going to get a bag of dog food, and as I got to about the middle of the intersection, we got T-boned.
It hit us so hard.
The insurance company was pretty tough to deal with, and so we called Jeff.
I want to thank Jeff personally for how he handled my case.
Thank you. Personal approach, professional results. Cats and Green, offices Palm Coast. Results may vary.
So thank you, Cats and Green, and particularly Jeff.
Back in the old days, thieves would break into your business through a door or window. Today, hackers break into your business and home in ways you never thought of. Your printer, security cameras, scanners, thermostats, remote workers, and their devices. We're Smart Technologies. We know how to identify and secure your entire network, not just your computers. If you would like a free cybersecurity assessment, give us a call today.
Smart Technologies.
Call
us, 252-2292.
In a world where personal service and people who really care about you can be lost, we want you to know we are different. We love engaging with our clients. That's just how we've been since 2008. Your milestones in life and business are our milestones, and we are with you every step of the way. We can do everything that big banks do, but we add the community banking touch. If you're already one of our clients, thank you. And if not, we would love to be your locally owned community bank. I'm Laura Gilveri. Welcome to Intracoastal Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Chamber Business Report. I'm John Phillips, president of the Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce. Again, thanks to Katz & Green, Intracoastal Bank, Smart Technologies, and Klein Construction, our sponsors for the Chamber Business Report. We continue our interview with John Galloway with the Calvary Church here in Palm Coast. We were talking about the Kingdom Entrepreneurship Program, where they help new business owners, new business ideas to develop there at the Calvary Church. The other thing they're doing is helping develop leadership here in our community. And you don't have to be part of the Calvary Church to be part of the Global Leadership Summit, which is coming up later this week, August 7th and 8th. It's on Thursday and Friday, and it's being held right here in Palm Coast. So John, let's talk more about the Global Leadership Summit, how that came about, how it ended up here in Palm Coast. I know it's a part of a nationwide program, so let's learn more about it.
Absolutely. So the Global Leadership Summit is designed to help build leaders in any industry, in any part of our community. Teachers go through it, business owners go through it, people that want to grow in their skill set. So once I kind of found out about that through Bob Doucette, who's the owner of one of the sponsors. He communicated his heart with me, and I shared with him my heart on the Kingdom Entrepreneurship. And I just felt like this can be a really great opportunity for our existing business owners, some of our church members, as well as those in the community. Our goal was to help people grow where they are. If that's leadership skills, great. If that's business practices, great. We want to take people and grow people where they are, because our adage is if we can make better people, if we can help build better people, then we've helped build better families. And if we build better families, better neighborhoods, so on and so forth, until our cities changed. Global leadership happened to be a part of that, and that's why we're trying to host it.
It's very similar to the mission that I feel like we're trying to do here at the Chamber of Commerce. Have a growth mindset, professional development, leadership transcends all adages, whether you're a teacher, business owner, restaurateur, you name it. And so we try to do similar things. We just had a nice little workshop over at Daytona State a couple weeks back. We called it was a 3-part segment. We called it Chamber 101 was the first. Anybody who's joined the chamber since our last Chamber 101 was invited to be part of that. The second phase was on speed networking, so meeting business owners and business people. And then the third phase is where I'm going to, was entitled Leadership. And a guy by the name of Joe Saviak, who was a wonderful presenter. He's a college professor. He's an attorney and very knowledgeable in the area of leadership. Gave a great presentation about leadership and how it's so important to business of any business, even just leading a family. Leadership is critical to life. And as you said, leadership impacts people, people impact lives, lives impact communities, and we all get better together.
Absolutely.
So the Global Leadership Summit, August 7th and 8th, right here in Palm Coast at your facility. We were talking off the air earlier. It is being live streamed from the host venue is in Willow Creek, Illinois, but there's 400 different sites around the world that are, I'm assuming it's worldwide or just here in the United States?
It is worldwide.
Wow.
Yes. We were selected to be one of the 400. I think what took place was when we spoke with the spokesperson from Global Leadership Summit, we communicated the same heart that we're sharing on the air as far as business owners and those who are in our community can benefit from a very pointed and very targeted development opportunity, such as the Global Leadership Summit, and we kind of hit it off. And we figured if we can get these voices into our community and get a group of people into a room, how can they impact all different dynamics within our school, within our society, the school systems, the for-profit entities, nonprofit entities. Our goal is to provide value where however it impacts our community. And this is one of the ways we would do that.
Yeah, and when Bob first pitched this to me a while back, he said, the chamber should get involved in helping promote this, and we are going to do just exactly that. We're doing it right now, and we're going to continue to do that because, again, we all benefit from this. Mm-hmm. We can all learn from the presenters that are being streamed in, but then we can all learn by being together and sharing ideas with one another. Yes. We were talking off the air about some of the speakers, one of which, he's an incredibly well-versed author, John Maxwell. Yes. He's written numerous books on leadership. I'm not saying he's the foremost expert on leadership, but he is one of the people. I say if you had to put up the Mount Rushmore of leadership teachers and leadership educators, I think John Maxwell is probably part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would definitely agree.
Yeah, and then we talked earlier about your background. This is John Galloway, former college football player at Bethune-Cookman University. We share the athletic side of the world together. A guy by the name of Nick Saban. He's won a game or two during his time.
Just a couple, just a few games. Yes, Nick Saban will be speaking as well. Now, being a Gator fan, I have mixed emotions about it, but I'm happy that you can't deny all the leadership components that he's going to bring to the table, even if it's from a Rolling Tide perspective. We're eager to hear him.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm with you. My wife went to law school at Florida, so we are firmly entrenched in the Gator Nation. But Nick Saban is one of those guys who he's a process guy.
Yes.
It's now granted, he was able to recruit 5-star and even occasional 4-star talent to Alabama, but it wasn't necessarily about the talent.
Yes.
It was about how he developed people
and
developed leaders. And I don't know if you've been exposed to Nick and some of his educational opportunities, but a wonderful leader and a wonderful man to be able to teach this.
Absolutely. Any leader that would attend this to sit under the voice of his teaching, you're going to benefit greatly. Someone who's been able to achieve success at the height of their industry is providing these principles that can impact us in a day-to-day. So, yes, I'm excited to hear from Nick.
Yeah, he's going to be great. It's been about 2 months ago now. Mm-hmm. We had a workshop here in Palm Coast. We did it at the Flagler Auditorium right there at FBC High School. And the first speaker that we brought in was Coach Steve Ritter, who's the basketball coach at Embry-Riddle, right down the road in Daytona Beach. And a lot of folks are like, what do we got a basketball coach coming into our entrepreneur conference? And I said, after he speaks, you let me know if he was the right guy to bring.
Right.
And he brought a lot of Nick Saban concepts.
Yes.
Coach Ritter is he's a process builder.
Yes.
He's a leader. He's a culture guy.
Yes.
If I had to pick one word, he's a culture guy.
Culture's everything.
And the culture he created in his basketball program has resulted in his teams winning championships.
Yes.
And it's not about recruiting championship players. It's about building championship culture. I know you've been exposed to that as a collegiate athlete. You're exposed to that on a daily basis in what you're doing at Calvary.
Yes.
You've built a wonderful culture there that has allowed the church to grow and the members to benefit.
Yes.
And that's what Nick's going to talk about, I'm sure.
Absolutely. With culture and healthy culture, we have an adage within our organization that says healthy things grow. If there's anything that is competing with the what is available within that culture, it's going to take away from the experience. So our goal organizationally and what Nick Saban has taught is to eliminate anything that can hinder the culture you're desiring to build. It's proven through different industries, and it's one of the ways that we can all grow as leaders.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point, and I'll use a term that Coach Ritter used during his presentation. He talks about culture and growth, culture and growth, culture and growth, culture and growth. He said, but if you let things invade your culture, and he used the term, he calls them cancers, because they spread.
Yes.
And you talked about, just right there, you alluded to culture builds growth and allows things to grow, and when you allow the things that aren't culture growth opportunities to invade your culture, it hurts.
Definitely.
And I think you've learned that we will learn that through Nick and through others at the Global Leadership Summit.
Absolutely. I think this is an opportunity for every leader and any person that will listen to this time together is when we have a healthy culture, it is a byproduct of healthy systems, healthy processes, and healthy people. And if we as leaders focus on those aspects of making sure the culture is healthy, the systems that we implement to make that happen oftentimes are safeguards from any unhealthy culture. So it's a system that is beneficial, but it also is a system that creates guardrails.
Yeah, fantastic. We're visiting with John Galloway. He is with the Calvary Church. They are getting ready to host the Global Leadership Summit on August 7th and 8th at the church right there on Palm Coast Parkway. If you'd like to attend, I'm going to give you a couple of websites here. CalvaryFL.com, and then click on the events tab. That'll take you directly to the church. CalvaryFL.com. And the other way you can learn more about it is to just go to globalleadership.org. When you go to Global Leadership, they'll offer you a local venue that you can go and be part of the Leadership Summit. The only venue in Flagler County is at Calvary, so you can make it easy and just go straight to the Calvary website, calvaryfl.com. Or if you just want to go to Global Leadership, you can learn more about who some of the other speakers are. But they will direct you to the Calvary facility, and that's where this is going to be held coming up later this week on Thursday and Friday. We talked about John Maxwell. We talked about Nick Saban.
Yes.
I know there's probably dozens of other speakers. Who are some of the others that names people might recognize as part of the summit?
Yeah, there's another voice of Craig Rochelle, leads one of the largest churches in all of the United States, and Life Church, foregoing voice on leadership, and he's going to be speaking. Several presidents and CEOs, the president of TIAA will be speaking as well. And there's someone else named Christine Kane, who is a very popular voice. She has implemented an incredible ministry called Propel 21, who's going to be communicating as well. And it's just going to be a great opportunity of a plethora of speakers, of former CEOs. They've in the past had former presidents speaking. So the value of this event for every leader is going to be paramount.
Yep. One of 400 locations around the world right here in Palm Coast coming up later this week. So learn more about it at globalleadership.org or at the Calvary website, calvaryfl.com, then click events. We're going to say thanks to John Galloway. I really enjoyed spending time with you, getting to learn more about you and about the church and the wonderful venue that you've got. I'm going to leave you with a couple words that'll wrap you up on the Global Leadership Summit. If you'd like to learn to lead better with wisdom, courage, and purpose. Wisdom, courage, and purpose. The Global Leadership Summit is a great place for you. This is the Chamber Business Report. Thanks again to Klein Construction, Intercoastal Bank, Smart Technologies, and Katz & Green. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, folks. We'll see you at the Global Leadership Summit.